Hey guys, what's going on? Will here, Flawless Exotic Creations, coming to you guys with another video this week. And this week we're going to talk a little bit about numbers and how we're doing. Now that the season for, season 2 here is pretty much kind of officially ended. We have some ovulations going on, but again, when those eggs are laid, it's going to be next year, which is going to be the start of season 3, which is awesome. Again, over 2 years rocking and rolling, we're still here pushing, and some of the concerns and things we want to push out there for anyone in the ball python realm of wanting to become a breeder on any level. We have a lot of close buddies, Tim, Darren, I mean, so many people. We also know a lot of big names that we're really tight with as well. And one of the number one things I will address out the gate that you're going to want to figure out how to maintain or have some type of control over, and when you think you got control over it, you really don't, is going to be rodents. You're going to want to make sure you have a sufficient rodent supply. Now, what does that look like? Does that mean that, you have to breed rodents? No, not necessarily. But bottom line, if we had to give you a clear and concise answer that would determine your fate on you being successful at breeding ball pythons or not, I would say yes. You would need to breed your rodents. We don't like breeding rodents, or I don't like breeding rodents. Audra actually enjoys it, and I'm thankful to have her since she enjoys it. We're able to have pups for the most part on hand, 24 hours, and that's awesome. We don't really grow very many out to, feed to our bigger, breeder or juveniles, and we purchase every week. But you're going to run into some obstacles, and it doesn't mean that your project or your planning doesn't work, but you have to understand when you're breeding your own rodents that, you're breeding for your own supply. Yes, things can happen where your supply diminishes. Maybe you have some breeding issues, but those same issues you may encounter, your rodent supplier may encounter. Again, your rodent supply, ours has been phenomenal. Drew, he's been the man for us. We really appreciate him. And sometimes, he has to run his business the best way he sees fit. So he may be out of rodents, not very often, but if he's out of rodents, that means he's had an awesome week as far as sales and things of the sort, or maybe production is down. But for him, he's probably had a successful week on sales, which in return would leave us without however many rodents we need to get, or however short. And that has to be okay for us. So again, to give you guys kind of end of the year roundup, so far we budget for 15 grand a year. That's what we did last year. We came up short on that, thankfully. Reinvested some of that overage money back into the snakes and purchasing this and purchasing that. This year we're closing on, if everything goes perfectly throughout the rest of these few weeks, we'll be right touching $9,500 on rodent expenses for the year. Now, what does rodent expenses include? That includes all of our rodent purchases. That also includes our, for this year, building our rodent racks here, purchasing our breeding stock, which we purchased as smalls and grew them out, which also covers our bedding and feed and everything except for, I would say, water supply. We don't kind of partition off how much water expense goes to feeding the rodents. So that's where that $9,500 comes up, which still brings us basically $5,500 under our rodent budget. So we can operate at that rate. But in order to operate at a $15,000 budget on rodents, you got to make sure you have revenue. Your revenue is going to come from your sales, putting yourself out there. So there's so many different levels of this video we can kind of dig in, and it will be so freaking long. But We're going to stay on course. This is the end of the season. We only had 33 clutches this year. Now, we were shooting for 50. That means 17 clutches we lost out on for the most part, completely, for the ones that did not go for us, the females that did not go for us. Meaning, and what I mean by we lost out completely, when we do our pairings, is never saying, you know, we never hit a pairing like, oh, and again, I hope this is taken well. I hope this is well received, because I don't want to sound like I'm talking at someone. I want us to do this all together and take this advice and hopefully be successful. When we do our pairings, we don't pair and ask ourselves, what's selling right now? Because chances are, once you produce whatever you're shooting to produce, you're already at a different phase in the industry, and what was selling 9 months ago or a year ago is probably still not hot at the moment. So when we do our pairings, we're at such a small level, and I keep putting emphasis on small level, because we're not trying, you know, to fulfill everyone's needs, everyone's wants. We have visions on certain projects, and we're just trying to chase those in a very large way on a small platform. We're not capable of being able to, you know, facilitate 1,000 clutches, 500 clutches. Actually, 100 clutches is going to be way too much for us. I don't see us getting much higher than actually hatching out 50, 60 clutches. Will that be a consistency? I don't know, because it depends on where our projects go. So all our clutches are project driven. And the reason I said we missed out on basically 17 clutches is because if those females are going next year, then that's great. But let's say, for sake of this video, if those females just reabsorbed or didn't produce follicles or didn't lay eggs, period, for us, then that means whatever those pairings was that was wrapped up in those 17 pairings, that they were shooting for a specific holdback or two that we don't have a shot at hitting. That's why I say we miss out on that. We're chasing certain projects where we understand the odds, and, you know, even if we're blessed with a 10A clutch, we're not trying to keep the best of the best or the most expensive. And no, it's not that. We're shooting for certain pairings or certain combos out of these pairings, where sometimes we may hit 1 out of 10, or sometimes you end up being lucky and you hit 4 out of 6. You know, and you're thankful. So I go over these numbers is because, again, we had 33 clutches that we were successfully laid and hatched out. If you followed us through the season, we had a 2-headed snake that didn't survive. We had a clutch or 2 that had some deformities, but overall, it's been a very, very successful season. We've totaled out at 179 hatchlings in 33 clutches, which is crazy. So out of them 179, we have 37 that are actual holdbacks. Now, our holdback numbers, some of them, we just went through a video kind of showing them off to you guys. The numbers there, the kind of mind-blowing ones to us that, you know, really, really like goes out there and sticks, we showed off for the most part. Some of the ones where we have to hold back and figure things out is kind of included in that number as well. So we have the tragic gene, for example, and I believe we had, off the top of my head, I can't remember, but I believe 7 hatchlings out of the tragic breeding to a pod girl. So the whole clutch is going to be het pod. So we have males and females, and we were looking to basically produce het pod tragics, and we're just kind of dragging our feet with that project. We're in no super rush at all. The clutch went full term. We hatched out healthy babies, and we kept them all. So that's 7 to 8 babies that's included in that 37 holdbacks, where we're holding on to them all to kind of see them, you know, develop, you know, be able to differentiate a normal from a tragic, taking photos over time and try to learn and educate ourselves more on a gene that's very, very untapped and not really out there like that. So that's involved and included in that 37. We also have included in that 37, maybe 6-ish that as you can see on camera, getting ready to send out a crap ton of sheds to the homie Charlie over at shedtesting.com. I believe we got like 50 sheds to send him this go around. So we're sending out them. So we have about, I guess, 6 to 8 that, depending upon the results of the shed test, would determine whether they're going to stay here or not. But for right now, they're going to be a holdback. So all of that falls under the 37. So we hatched out 179 hatchlings out of 33 clutches. We have 37 holdback, and we have 46 available right now. Period. That's all we have available right now. Again, got to get more photos, got to get things posted and uploaded. But from this production season, 179 hatchlings, we have 46 available. Again, till shed testing comes back. That means in its totality, we have 83 hatchlings here, period. All right, that includes our holdback. So we hashed out 179, we have 83. Out of the 83, 37 are holdbacks. So we haven't had too much of an issue moving a lot of these ball pythons, thanks to you guys. Keep hitting us up, keep liking these videos, keep inboxing us on Instagram. We love to chat back and forth. We have several messages where we're going back and forth with different people that we met pretty much through here. So thank you guys so much for the ball pythons we've moved through here. We've moved a bunch through Morph Market. We've had auctions. We've done all the different parameters around trying to market and promote, you know, a small level business to continue to level up. And it's only going to get better from here as we move these projects forward and keep producing higher and higher level stuff for us, as well as we continue to buy forward. So basically that drums down to a total of 96 of sold hatchlings from this year. We also have some breeders that we've sold as well. So we've moved well over 100 snakes this year, including breeders, included some that people probably wouldn't even know that we've moved. Like we had a special spider monsoon male, that's gone. We had a 100% het monsoon female, that's gone. Breeder female, we sold that as a package. That went toward pretty much the beginning of the year, but we also have other monsoon breeders that's replaced them. So we're just kind of trying to keep moving forward, keep trying to capitalize on certain decisions as we move forward, fix problems as we move forward, if you've been watching our videos that we've been dropping out lately. And again, trying to keep our ear to the streets, learn everything we possibly can, advise anyone that wants advice, not sound pushy at all, but be very welcoming to bringing everyone together in its totality. Again, this can be done, and there's a lot of people that do it a lot better than we do. Again, this is the beginning stages. The sky is the limit. We're going to keep pushing forward. You got to have patience in this game, but you also got to be able to grind. It's going to be extremely tough. The main thing I want to say is don't work against yourself, if that makes sense. And that can mean so many different things. I won't put anybody on blast. You know, it's a few people I talk to pretty much on a daily basis, and they tend to work against themselves actively. But it's Will, Flawless Exotic Creations. Hope your season has been amazing. Hope you're getting lock after lock after lock for the 2025 season. Let's rock and roll. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell. We are